Everyone, my name's Tash. I'm an artist in the UK and I love everything art and wellness, and every day I try to post something that has some kind of art feel to it but will also help with your wellness in the process. So yesterday we did this fun doodle because this week's theme is sandwich. Sorry, that was from the week before. There you go. And today we're probably going to sketch a more realistic sandwich, and we're going to do it in this sketchbook here. Now you can get the kit available over my W. In my BIO is the LINK, and up here you can see the colouring sheets you get. You also get some learn to draw sheets, and you also get these daily wellness trackers because I like the idea of linking art to wellness on a daily basis. Every kit you get has the same things in, so it'll have the same setup. There was citrus before. I'm not sure if there was one for leaf. There is a kit there, but it might not be this setup because I only started doing this on the citrus one, I believe. So but there'll be one to come each week. You can subscribe. There's downloadable versions or there is printed versions, so there's something for everyone, and they can get posted out to you. Okay, so today we're going to sketch a sandwich, so it's going to be a slightly more realistic version than our doodle yesterday. Just a plain and simple doodle. I would have rubbed out the pencil and then coloured in, but we're going to go for a more natural looking sandwich today. Okay, I'm using a 5B pencil, which is darker than I would usually use, so I would suggest you getting something more like a 2B, and I'm only using it darker so you can see. Now for the first sketch, we're simply going to draw diagonal lines around the corners, and I'm pressing really lightly, and I'm doing lots of different little strokes. I'm not just doing one line, because that way I can get the general feel for how I want the sandwich to look. I think I've come down too far. See, that's how easy it is when you're not fully concentrating to make mistakes. If it's that far, we won't really be able to see what's inside the sandwich. So there. Okay, so I'm just creating lots of little lines to make up my bigger lines until I get the feel for exactly how I want it to look. Now I'm going to do something dribbly, say if this was a really gooey, cheesy sandwich. So I'm going to do that first, and then we can draw the bread underneath, and we'll do a really gooey bit here. Probably don't want too many little bits there. You just want to have kind of a sweeping gooiness coming out. Then maybe a little bit can come down here as well, and then we'll finish up joining the gooiness here. So the gooiness is coming out, and we need to draw the bread that's underneath that. So we're going to draw lots of little lines again. Now remember, this is how I draw, so if you feel as though this you don't like the way I'm drawing, then that's fine. You do it your way. I'm just doing it my way, and we're all different, so that's fine. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is some rough lines here, as though it's been in a toasty machine. So it's like a toasted cheese sandwich, because they are always really gooey, aren't they? So we're going to get that in. There we are. So now we're going to come in with a much thinner liner than I was using before. We'll go for what's a 0.2 in micron. And I'm doing it, actually if we're just doing a sketch then I don't need to do the pen, but why not, let's just do the pen. We can do a sketch in pen as well as pencil. I just kind of go with how I'm feeling at the time, and I think that's what we should do. More intuitive art. Right, coming round. So if you like to draw or colour, do anything arty and crafty, make sure you let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Please don't forget to give me a follow so you see my other videos. For you page doesn't always show them, so you'll have to go to the following tab at the top where for the people that you follow. So I'm just going to draw, I think, some lines in here to show just some depth, so it will look as though it's been pressed in there a bit. Hopefully you can see that. They're really light little lines, but I have zoomed in the camera, so hopefully you can see that nice and clearly. And all we're doing by doing these lines, I'm not even thinking about where I'm putting them, to be honest. We're just creating that depth and feeling of the impression where the machine would have been. Then we're going to come round and just where the edges would be a bit darker from being obviously baked in the oven, a bit darker and a bit thicker, we'll just come in and almost just scribble some lines in like that, and that helps to give the feel of that bakedness on the outside edges. So we'll do that. Do it on the bottom as well, don't forget the very bottom. And then what we can do is add some shadows in under, can you see, under the cheese? And that kind of creates a little bit of depth as well. So the difference between a doodle and a sketch in my eyes is that the doodle is very flat, there's no shadows, and with a sketch you get shadows. So we need to put those shadows in. We get the shadows and we get the depth. So we also need to make sure there's a little bit of shadow underneath the top piece. So I'm just going to literally just scribble in a little bit of depth here. There we go. That's creating some shadow here. And you might want to just come in and just give it some, because at the moment it's looking very square, just give it some ridges, yeah, and make it look a bit more realistic by just coming in and around, and that way it looks a bit more real and it's got a bit more shape to it. And then we can come in and just do some kind of little scribbles like that, very lightly, wherever you want them, and that kind of also gives the impression that it's a bit more realistic. Maybe group some together. They're literally just little squiggles, like almost like grains in the bread. You can do some maybe dots here and there, and that will also give the impression of a little bit of reality. And we can do the same down here, some little marks. And with the cheese we can just come in and kind of create some more lines here that are in flow with the cheese. So hopefully you can see there from that. Automatically it's starting to look more like a toasted sandwich, and if you add colour it's going to look even more realistic. I'm not going to add colour because this is just a sketch session today. So we do the doodle, we've done a sketch, and we'll move on to something else for tomorrow's video. I hope you enjoyed that, and please do follow and like and comment and all those things. It'd be lovely to hear from you, and hope to see you in the next video. Take care everyone.